Also, gonna grab some food. Okay.
And you can pick them up.
Okay. Wherever they'll have me.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. I'll put my, this is my stuff.
Okay. It was on. Oh, I went into all of them on. Oh, did you? Maybe it just, they just sat for so long.
I think so, maybe. I turned this one and that one over there.
So this HDMI cord might not be, it's not the same one we usually use. Where does she usually have that? It's just sitting there on the table, so I don't know where it normally is kept.
Okay.
So like typically we just plug it in and then I just cool. Like, is that is it a speech or is it a different?
No. As soon as there is an HDMI sound and it becomes fine.
It might be an inbuilt thing.
I mean, HDMI is HDMI.
Yeah, I'm just saying, normally it's.
So why?
On the TV.
Oh, is it, well, question is.
Everyone, we're going to go ahead and start the meeting, and I'll just go through agenda items that don't require any of the slides until we perhaps solve that issue. I'm Sarah Gilliland. I'm your stand-in president for today because our current president, Dave Mortel, is traveling. So welcome to all of you. Glad to see you here. Let's start with the four-way test. Ellen, could you lead us, please?
The four-way test of the things we think, say, or do.
First is the truth. Second is a fair call concern. Relationships will be beneficial to all concerned. And fifth, it is fun. Right. Thank you, Ellen. Please join me and stand, and we'll recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. One nation under God. Please be seated, and I'd like to invite Steve Sperling up to share a reflection.
Justin, very good. So what I'd like to open with for the reflection today is a question. And the question is, what is your most precious resource? Your most precious resource, I think all of you would agree, is your time. And it's also your most democratic resource. Everyone has the same amount, 24 hours every day. And that is one of the reasons I wanted to thank you all for being here today. You're spending your most precious resource devoted to Rotary. Thank you very much for that. As far as my own situation here, the training that I've had is with the president-elect training this year. Wanted to show this picture from president-elect training up at the Vikings training facility, which was at the Omni Lakes Hotel. And in the center there is our district governor-elect, Glenn Bowers, who will be speaking to us on September 11th. So I want to encourage everybody to come to that meeting as well. And on the far right hand of the slide is Scott Becker. One of the things you get to do is meet a lot of Rotarians from other clubs. Scott is the president of Greater Rochester Rotary, but we had a chance to meet Rotarians from all over Minnesota. And so one of the things that as president-elect you get to do is to be more exposed to the inner workings of Rotary, and the leadership of the previous past presidents has been instrumental in that. So people like Sarah and others in the room here who've done that have provided a great role models for this. And our discernment that we've gone through recently, we've been able to come up with ideas for the direction of the club going forward. And the surveys have been aptly, skillfully administered by Stuart Rassier, who's helped us greatly. And also the club participation that you've participated in has given us sort of a roadmap to look at how we're going to go forward with this. The exciting thing for me this year coming up is in a month, I get to go to the Rotary International Convention, which happens to be in Calgary coming up. And I wanted to show you a little bit of what I'm excited about here. Very short video, 1 minute.
We don't have sound.
Okay. We're lacking sound, so we can just play. It's just some very short video of what we'll be able to experience in Calgary. They have side tours. They have things for the non-Rotarians to do as well. And as I was sharing with Lynn before the meeting today, one of the special things is you have the opportunity to get the Rotary Calgary cowboy hat. So you may see when I make my presentation 20,000 white cowboy hats all in the same place. So President International of Rotary National is this.
Discover magic all around.
Now, you want me to do it again?
No, that's
Okay.
I need to write this down because it's Mario Cesar Martins de Camargo from Brazil. And he has come up with a motto for next year called Unite for Good. The magic of Rotary is this year, Unite for Good is next year. And you all have heard the term, I think, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, we go together, we travel together. And is Rotary, certainly Rotary is not without its critics, and both our individual club has suggestions and things that we can do better. Rotary International also does too. But my question finally is, will you be part of the solution? So let's go together. Thanks.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, we have just a couple slides just to remind you that we've been moving through our club's 100-year history in the past 6 months or so. Lori Lutke and Marilyn Stewart have done a great job digging through our archives and our old newsletters and photos and things and pulling out amazing moments from our history. So this slide covers 1996 to 2005. Some of the really notable things: in 1996, Marilyn Stewart was elected as the first female president of this club. At that time, we were very active in a reading project at home school. We were hosting a program at Rochester Public Library one evening each week. Phil Carsell was leading an international project where he was collecting shoes for children in Haiti. And by 1999, we'd already had 11 years of the Holiday Classic in our experience and had so far awarded more than $250,000 in grants and scholarships through that volunteer effort. So then we're moving on to the next decade of 1996 to 2005. At that point, our club's membership was 271 members. Some of us old timers remember those days, and it was really remarkable. Al DeBoer, who of course had been a past president, was installed as district governor in June of 2000. The reading project continued to be very strong with lots of volunteer efforts. We held our first annual Rotary auction, and that specifically was to help raise funds for an orphanage in Cochabamba, Bolivia. And so in a way, we're continuing that tradition when at our 100th anniversary celebration coming up in May, the Rochester Rotary Community Foundation will be having plenty of very enticing silent auction items for you to shop for. Now this is interesting. In 2005, Michael Fallon instituted the practice of reciting the four-way test. I can't remember when we didn't do that, but apparently we didn't do that earlier. So kudos to Mike. And in 2005, that was when Rotary International celebrated their 100th anniversary. So significant things in our past. I'd like to turn the mic over to Frank Allen, who will spend maybe 3 minutes on some happy bucks.
All right, guys, come on, let's get the dollars out. I'm doing the first dollar because I'm wearing the Viking tie. Because Dave Martell is the biggest Viking fan of anybody, and he's not even here to see my tie. But the draft is tonight, so that's what I'm having thoughts about. Anybody over here? Like Arlen.
I saw my first dandelions on my way here. And so it's a sure sign of spring and more blooms to come, right?
All right, I'm circling around. Anyone over here? This is part of the wellness program. Anyone over here?
I'm just a visitor, but I'm going to get you wearing that Viking tie.
Excellent. All right, Randy.
I lost my credit card and only carried one. Imagine traveling 15 miles without a credit card. It's hard to do, so I'm happy to get a new credit card yesterday.
I don't see any end of day rooms in my thing. And Allie over here.
I'm good, more than one or two. I wanted to say this coming week, I believe, is the last week that they're going to be collecting items to go to Africa, the wheelchairs and braces and various and sundry mechanical things that help people who need transportation. So I have an SUV. I've already made 2 trips to the Dan Abraham Center, and as I understand it, the Rochester Athletic Club is also collecting, and I know Joanne Rosner is sort of the person who is sweeping all these so that they get to the appropriate place to be shipped to Africa. And Christine just told me that the Kaler has a large storeroom of people have left their walkers and their canes and that sort of thing. And so we're gonna get ourselves in gear and get some things moving, and I hope you'll look through your basement.
The pickup is Saturday.
Saturday is the pickup, final pickup
125 live.
at 125 Live. Good, thank you. Anybody else have anything to add to that? So that, you know, if you've got any kind of braces or this sort of thing, they are desperately needed in Africa.
That's great. Any others? Hold those dollars high if you still want to say something. Oh, John's over here. Oh, yes, we can't let John off the hook.
$11 from members of the club.
Excellent. Okay. Did I misspell?
No, we're just moving on.
We're moving on.
Phil, is going to introduce our guest today.
We spoke about the shoes. At the hospital I worked in Haiti, it was open campus. And in Haiti, to go to school, it cost about $60 US. The children had to have the smock or the shirt, and they had to have shoes. And that was more than some families could do. One morning we watched, and the kids would walk through the campus on the way to school, so we'd see them. And one morning, a young boy walked through in women's high heels, but he had shoes. So I came home and I said to the club, if your children and your grandchildren and you have shoes that you are no longer using, bring them to me. You all did. And we ended up shipping 1,400 pair of shoes to Haiti. The second thing I had to tell Steve is that a 10-gallon hat, that will be imperial gallons. So it's actually a 12-gallon hat. Janine Hadley, are you the one who said I'm just a visitor? Stand up.
Spoke to our golden paper, and I'm volunteering to help him with whatever he needs done.
Really good. And how long have you been involved in this project?
I've been with Golden K 2 years, so.
You'll have to come back to Rotary.
Come and visit.
All right.
Thank you.
And we have Jim Cook. Unfortunately, he's from Columbus. So I'm not sure how what we'll do when we get to the secret parts of the meeting. Is that right?
Whatever you say, boss. They drafted me to come to this discussion. Who are they telling? 16 years.
Perfect. Come back and visit again. And we have Daniel McCoy, books, also from Columbus.
One from Gainesville.
Different one from him. His, so is that like the Methodist and the Baptist? And what if one of them infiltrates your meeting?
Take anybody, but we're here also because of Gary. Impressed with his presentation to our club, and we want to support him, so.
Don't you agree? Partially. Good, you come back. Are there any other visitors? Let's give them a big welcome.
We're gonna move through quickly the birthdays. We have a couple that have already passed, but happy birthday in belated Marilyn and Vincent Brown before that. And important Rotary anniversaries, Mark Drips, 21 years, and Ashok Patel, 19 years. Fantastic. I have probably the most important announcement today. And some of you may know this, particularly if you serve on our club's board. But today we have the opportunity to thank our club administrator, Sherston Keeler, and to also say goodbye. As you know, When Sherston took the role as club administrator on a part-time basis in 2023, she was working on her graduate degree. And she has done a marvelous job for our club in the past 2 years. I can't believe she's only been here 2 years because it seems like she just walked in and knew what to do or figured out what to do. So Sherston, we want to thank you for your outstanding service, your friendly, calm, professional work style, and your dedication to Rotary and all of its members. In addition to being our club administrator, Sherston's family has also been a host family for youth exchange students, and both her daughter and son have traveled as outbound students for youth exchange. So I know we're going to stay connected, Sherston, but not in the professional capacity. And Sherston, could you just share a little bit about what you already have lined up next?
Absolutely. Thank you, Sarah. I just want to say, looking back, it was like May of 2023. I was at a Rotary meeting with, I think, John, our son, who was going to Denmark. And then it was announced that the administrator for Rotary was leaving. So I thought, this might be the perfect thing for me while I'm going back to school. So it has definitely worked out, and I appreciate all the support and kindness and professionalism from everybody. So it's been a real pleasure to meet everybody and be a part of Rotary and the mission. So I wish you all the best, and I know you're gonna just like knock it out of the park without an actual club administrator, and you're gonna like figure it out. So, so I went back to school for a master's in social work, clinical therapy track, and this is my last week right now. So I cannot wait to be done juggling like the 500 things that I'm juggling. And I have a job, so I'll be at Fernbrook Family Center. I'm already there doing a practicum. So I'll be part-time at John Marshall High School doing school therapy, and then part-time at the Jeremiah program working with some of the moms there. So really excited for future work. And just my happy buck is for my new role. Not because I'm meeting you guys, but because I'm excited for the next chapter of my life. So thank you.
One that I pass around and like all of you to sign, just to give Sherston our best wishes. And just know that we are returning to an earlier model of Rotary for probably our first, 60 years or so. Club officers served in a very active role, particularly club secretary, club treasurer. So Joseph, our club secretary, and Frank, our club treasurer, will be taking on additional responsibilities that have been handled by the club administrator. But that's how we used to do it, and it worked great. So please give the whole board your support, and special thanks to Joseph and Frank for stepping up. So I'm confident it's going to work well. I have one more card to pass around too. Jim Sloan's health is a little fragile. He's not doing the best right now. So I just wasn't able to attend today, and thought if we all signed a card, I'll be sure and stick it in the mail, and I know Jim will enjoy getting it. Let's see, we have about 3 minutes, so I'm going to prioritize the remaining announcements. Joseph, well, I'll move to you after this. May 20th at 4 p.m. is the tree planting at Quarry Hill. We'll work with all 3 clubs on this big community service project, and please sign up to participate. And as you all know, our 100th anniversary is right around the corner at this point. Next Wednesday is the last day to register. So if it's been on your mind, but you haven't quite gone to the website and finished that process, please do so because we do need to turn in an accurate count for the dinner that night. Now, Joseph has a quick announcement.
Thank you. We are introducing Monday morning online coffee talk, 15 minutes, 9 a.m. If you would like to talk to us, please join, and a link you will see in the next Monday morning email, weekly email. Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder about the Cradle to Career fundraiser coming up at Sorelina's on this Sunday. You do need to mention if you're going to order food either at the restaurant or for carry out that you'd like part of your proceeds to go to support Cradle to Career. So please, you've got your dinner or lunch plan for Sunday already made. As you all know, we're a recent member again of the Chamber of Commerce. There are multiple opportunities to participate. Those are, I think, also in the moccasin flower. So look at that if you're interested. And that brings us to Colin, who will introduce our speaker. Where is Colin?
He is here.
Oh, okay. You were hiding back there. Did I miss anything else really important? I was trying to move through quickly. Okay, good.
Well, so, and I'm happy to introduce Gary today, and it's great that Gary has a fan base that's here. That's quite remarkable to have a number of people show up for a speaker earlier, which I'm not sure we're happy for, so that's great. So, Gary sent me this, Gary Garson was working as an engineer. And we have a few engineers in this room in Rochester. He was a director in the high-tech industry when he was diagnosed with late-stage lung cancer in March of 2011. As an athlete and never a smoker, he was shocked and his prognosis was dire. And I assume we might talk about that today, but I don't know, maybe. Shortly after his treatment and during his lengthy recovery, he began volunteering as a companion for lung cancer patients and continues to do so today. Gary then served on the board of directors for and there's much material on the table concerning that. The Lung Foundation for Animals and was now the manager of occupational services and community outreach for that nonprofit. Please welcome Gary.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just want to take a quick minute just to thank Colin and Dave for inviting me to come down to speak today. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to the organization. So what I'm going to do today, so the topic is lung cancer. And it's not a fun one, but it's an important one. And I'm going to first share how this topic and how this organization became important to me. And then then I have a slide deck after that. We're going to go through, some more details and specifics about lung cancer. We're going to talk about radon. And we're going to talk about our organization, what we do and what we're up to. But first, how did we get into this? So back to 2010. As Colin mentioned, I was working as an engineering director at a high-tech company. And I was playing hockey 3 mornings a week. I was coaching my son's hockey team. I exercised every day. I ate well, got enough sleep. Drank a little, but never smoked, never had a cigarette. I was the first child of how to live a clean and healthy life. So in November of that year, again, 2010, I started with coffee. I didn't think much of it. So I just kind of continued to get worse. Christmas, I thought, look, let's check out. It's been several years since I had this. And so I went to the clinic, so I just didn't have time to go to a regular doctor. Doctor said I had so how do you do? Continue. Fatigue. It's coaching. I canceled business trips. And I stepped down as my son's hockey coach. I started losing weight without trying. That's a bad sign. Because cancer loves calories. And that's why people that have cancer can lose weight. After 2 more trips to the doctor and not getting an answer, so I'm never a smoker. But there's anything like this. So we're looking for everything else but this. So again, given an answer again, the chest expert, get it right now, and I know where this came from. That voice changed my life, or saved my life. The captured images indicate a cloudy mass at the bottom of the lymph node. So after being diagnosed yet again, that's about 4 times with give you a CT scan and bronchoscopy. The family trying to figure out what was going on. March 15th, 21, I got the phone call that no one wants to get. The voice and the first thing he said, I'm sorry, Mr. President, you have cancer. Shock, disbelief. What stage 3 adenocarcinoma. Diagnosis, 3 different experts, including Bill Fargo in Boston, was 2, the most likely one. He said, so I forgot some last. Seven weeks of doing devotion to move life. I don't know there's much left of me. I should slow the patients to call it. It's only fun for me. Some 3 months of treatment. It's tough. It's cultural. Thing. I'm back. Treatment. See cancer and so the other scan. Scans. Up stage. This is the most known cancer there is. Kills 127,000 Americans every year. In Minnesota. From for my funeral. He says, I do about cancer can happen later. And I think for small case for many others. And I'm sure that's from this disease. Some thousand a year. Sir, somebody, think of somebody. It's. That's been. This is okay, that's sort of the rest of financial. See how we do. Breast cancer awareness month. It's not cancer awareness month. So it does. November is amazing. No, no, no. You know what it is? Smoking stigma. Such lung cancer because of the stigma. It's still believed that lung cancer is for smokers only. I would say 20% cases are never, not non-smokers, never smokers. It's one of the so kills as breast cancer. So November's the month. Don't forget it this year, November 2025. You know, there's only 25 questions. Okay. So this is still a little complicated because so still normal, you see that much better chance. Right? Stage 4 is much lower. So this is kind of a composite number that they come up with. I think breast cancer is 5% of it's higher than 80%. So and no guesses? 30? That's a good guess. 20? This is 20. So 16%. 16%. Bingo. Symptoms. Stages 3 and 4 was treat. This disease is so lethal. This last question, I'm telling you right now, you better get it right. If you don't get it right, I'm moving. Okay? I'm just going to tell you right now. Does anybody want to say yes? Okay. Thank you. I will stay. Of course, it's false. If you include people that have stopped smoking, and then combine those with the never smokers, it's about half and half people that are diagnosed with cancer. And I read a statistic that 80 to 84% of smokers don't get lung cancer. So it's for this, it seems for everybody. So. So, as you smile, it's, I think the big takeaway on the slide is that this, including, I mentioned that, right? The symptoms show up stages 3 and 4, really difficult to treat. The fact that from stage 3B diagnosis and not taking any drugs now is a miracle. That becomes cancers combined. 16 Americans are diagnosed with lung cancer. The cancer, right? That's 7,000 cancer deaths. 23% of all cancer deaths, lung cancer. 3 times as many as prostate cancer. I think about 15 to 25%. I could go on and on. So it's deadly. That's the main takeaway of that slide. Okay. On the slide. This disease really affects underserved communities. And it's for a variety of reasons. Access to good health care, lack of awareness. You know, they might have a house with cracks in the floor and a radon coming in the house. Huge problem. And that's what some of we're trying to help with. And bring awareness and bring help to them. So the underserved communities. The other takeaway in the slide is the fact of this disease. Cancer has been removed under the new administration. I think we have a real need to spend $40 million a year on cancer projects. Now, which I think is good. And I think for a long time. The disease and big problems. As much as they cut. Diseases that affect humans. Sure. Yeah, I certainly suffer for fatigue and persistent loss of loss and dropping up all sorts of nasty stuff. Yeah, so that's some of the symptoms. Causes. This is so in terms of getting I think I don't know the statistics, but I think there are fewer people smoking today than before. Smaller. That. So I think sitting in your house or something like that. It's here. If you want to give us some other information. I will do it for free because I almost expired. This process lung cancer. So I'm saying, maybe this is lung cancer, I go to the screen. Just to make sure, I know now. She went in and she had a tumor in the lung. She didn't even know about it. Just for 6 months. Um, so the cracks in the floors and foundations, those change. So the EPA suggests every 2 years to test for radon, and I highly recommend it. Now, it's because if someone got cracks in the floor, goes in the floor, cracks in the foundation, it so it doesn't. Before I forget, it's a sign-up sheet. If you're interested in any of our events or for helping out, there's a phone for you. We'll get it. So we can do the work with donations and volunteers. Each year, I think some of those are smokers, and 800 of those are from Minnesota on average. So it's a big health concern. So we can system. And it's basically the plating is sunk and on lower simplifying the course. And it draws the gas out from underneath your house and shoots down the pipe over the roof line. Now back in the day, it cost about Stores. Crossing. They do a good job. And as I mentioned, I've read books here, seen it after, or you can have you in the profession who often do it too. So, it's your screen. So, lung cancer case, lung cancer mortality has gone down. It's a very screen. So, I'm qualified for a free mobile CT scan annually. If the current smoker within the last 15 years, you have to have a 20, you had to have a 20 pack year history, which is what, 1 pack per year for 20 years, 2 packs for 10 years, packs for 2 years. No, I don't think so. So yeah, so screens that over. You answer those. And if you qualify, you can put a form and take it to your primary care physician, and you should be able to get a free local CT scan annually. It's a heck of a deal. It's really a good thing. It's saving lives. So, so we're on. If you are coughing, and this will be, you've been coughing for a long time, I'm saying 4 or 5 weeks, and it's not getting any better, go to the source. So, okay, right? You gotta stand up for yourself and go to the doctor. And I stood up and said, I'm chest actually. That's what we need to do. Because we don't really spend for yourself. Yeah, and you start. Someone listens to them. So we say something. Judge. So that stigma is still on. Considerations we don't care. And those are 3 things that can help with. And our goals, some of our players are, you know, 2 years working on lung cancer projects. So it's an educational source. That's where the hammer is. This gentleman here is a friend of mine. Don't mention it. That's who gets the award. And then the one, I forget what it was. The first one did. It's a great search. With that. Education. Innovation. That's what's going to do. Yeah, look at the others. She's I facilitate them. Speakers and students and so forth. Transportation. So, treatment schedule. I don't think this. I'm through it. It's understood. That's what that's for. So, consultations are really fun. Nutrition. Today, and tell me shine. Questions you want to bring on here, just stop off.
Much, Gary. That was quite informative, and hearing your story really made it quite meaningful. In your honor and as thanks for the presentation, we're going to be making a donation in your name to the Sports Mentorship Academy, and you'll see on the screen some of the young people served by that academy. So, thank you again. And today I'd like to thank all of you for being here, and also thanks especially to our volunteers. Ellen Hayden, who led our four-way test, Steve Spurling for the reflection, Randy Stocker for being the greeter at the door, Frank Allen for collecting the happy bucks, Bill Carcel for introducing our guests, Sheriston, amazing always, and our speaker especially. So thank you everyone for being here and help celebrate the magic of Rotary. And we are adjourned.